All right, y'all. Okay. I already fuck it up already. Okay, so welcome back to the I Am Bruce Lee channel. It's your boy Bruce Lee. Before we get started with today's video, fuck. Need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, before I kick y'all ass. Now, I already know I'll do already. Follow me on all my social medias. Everything's at Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Everything's at I Am Bruce Leroy. Jesus Christ, I cannot talk today. Anyway, before we get started with today, oh shit. So here's the thing with my new setup. This is not going to be something that's going to be a permanent thing. This is only done because I broke my tripod, but I carried it in a backpack with a bunch of shit in there. And on top of that, I'm having a brain fart right now. On top of that, fuck, Jesus Christ, I cannot speak today. But anyway, moving forward, I forgot my tripod. So if this video happens to come out just like this, great. If it does not, for whatever reason, y'all, man, it is what it is. But either way, we're going to, Jesus Christ, I cannot fucking talk. Either way, we're going to figure, shit. Either way, we're going to re-record it. So whether it be this video coming out, or goddamn me re-recording the video again through the camera and an actual tripod this time around. Either way, the video will come out, okay? Before we get started with today's video, I want to make a quick apology for how late the last video was. So, I ain't gonna lie to you. Between one of my jobs, you know, me having to work to midnight, me working a lot as far as the 9 to 5s, and then working as far as this, I low-key dead-ass got burned out. So the reason why I've been kind of not posting social media content, the reason why that the video just took all day, it was so much shit going on. Like literally the button video that I put out, I had to literally work on Thanksgiving. I don't like working on a holiday. I don't believe in that shit. I'm not the type of person that's about doing that. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, when that happened, I'm like, nah, like. That low-key pissed me off. Jesus, I'm talking like a fucking amateur. You know how long I've been talking in front of a damn camera? I've been talking for a damn camera for like 3-4 years doing YouTube and shit. And for some odd reason, bro, I'm having a brain fart. I don't know if it's because I got 4 hours of sleep. Maybe I'm low-key tired. Maybe I'm hungry. I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe I'm just like, my mood got brought down because of the fact that I ended up forgetting my tripod. I don't know what the hell's going on with me, bro. So if I come off a little lackluster because the way it's coming off right now, it's going to take me a little bit to try to get warmed up and, you know, get my confidence back like I normally have it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I'm low-key a little tired and I'm hungry as shit. So that's probably, I don't know why I keep running to my damn mic. That's probably why, like, my energy is a little bit low and I'm talking like I'm talking like, you know how, like, if you watch like one of them amateur YouTubers and shit, and like you watch through it, you can tell they be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They like have like long ass pauses, and like when they do commentary and shit, they're not really adding anything to the content they react to. They be like, damn, that's crazy. Oh, word. That's how I'm talking right now, low key. So hopefully, as the video goes along, it's a little better. I apologize. I'm just kind of a little bit under the weather, and my energy is kind of lackluster right now. But I'm gonna pick it up for you guys, right? So obviously, as y'all know, we do the weekly Eagles recap. We beat the Baltimore Ravens 24-19. Now, there's a few things, and it's not a lot this time around because I gotta. Oh, okay. So here's the thing, right? So for the late ass Rams reaction, that's coming out today. Today is Tuesday, so it'll come out later in the afternoon. If you would like to watch it, great. If you don't want to watch it, the shit's still up there anyway. I put it out. It's a god fucking damn. It's a great video regardless. Holy shit, bro. I'm fucked up today, bro. God damn. My brain is on fucking E, bro. Man, what in this gas station has Shell, BP? I need to get there pronto. God damn. I need some of that. I'm seeing some of that got their premium gas. Fuck. Alright, so first things first, I want to speak about, so let's talk about the injuries headed into this game. And there is one thing that happened outside of this game, like right before this game, that I do want to talk about. So first things first, let's speak about the injuries, right? Slay is out with the concussion protocol, so Isaiah Rodgers stepped in. We'll have a conversation about his performance. And on top of that, Devontae Smith, the hamstring might be a little bit more serious than I thought. Because if you guys remember my last video, which I'll put out later on today, I'll have it in the description below for y'all to see it. I thought that he was out with a hamstring as a precautionary measure, like, you know what I'm saying, just to keep him out, because it wasn't we didn't necessarily have to have him at that particular time. It was just like one of those things where it's like he could play with the hamstring, but as it turns out, because Devontae Smith was actually practicing, so he was low-key trying to play, but for some odd reason, I think the hamstring is much worse than what I anticipated. So the good thing is, obviously, I want Devontae Smith back in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, y'all know the Slim Reaper is my favorite damn receiver in the league. Y'all already know that already, right? And also, he's one of our best players. So I definitely want to see him I want to see him healthy and back in the lineup. But, you know, if I got to live with maybe the next couple weeks of missing out on Devontae Smith, I'd rather have it right now than, like, obviously, you know, come, let's just say, playoff time. And we're pretty much winning regardless, right? So we just hit double-digit wins. We're 10-2, okay? Now, there's one thing I want to get to, and this happened literally right before the Eagles game, okay? So, oh, yeah. I almost forgot. So, Ben Van Sumeren, I think he got hurt in practice. If I'm not mistaken, he's out for the rest of the year. So prayers up to him for a full recovery. So we pretty much and obviously we're gonna be like a little short in special teams because he's good at special teams. That he's like, you know, we use him as like a specialty fullback in some packages and shit like that. All right. Now let me make sure I get this guy's name right because we have to talk about an incident that happened in the Jaguars and Texas game. Okay, and I have to address that situation. So for those that don't know, Eagles fans might remember because he was a free agent. So there was two guys that we was considering in the offseason or like that we was rumored to be considering, right? Al Shazier happened to be one of them. He's now a Houston Texan. And I think this guy named Van Ginkel who played in Miami did pretty good all the way up until he just happened to be injured. And if I'm not mistaken, Van Ginkel is on the goddamn Minnesota Vikings. Holy shit, bro. Like, that's why, like, everybody says, oh, sleep, you know. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm telling you right now, bro. Right now, case in point, take care of your goddamn body, bro. Make sure you eat the way you're supposed to. And make sure you get your goddamn sleep. Because clearly, I'm talking like I've been doing YouTube for less than 6 months. And I've been doing that shit for the past 5 years. It's been a long ass time since I was stuttering, lost for thoughts. You gotta remember, like back in my, 2021, 2022, this shit was like, what's happening right now was a regular occurrence. Now, I'm a pro in front of the camera, pause. But y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm a professional with this shit now. Now I just get on here and I just do my thing. Like I write some information down and shit, but pretty much everything is just off the dome and really improvise. Really, I don't really like follow a particular script. Like I write some ideas down of what I'm gonna talk about, but everything is just straight up off the top of my head. So it's kind of weird, but that's what happens when your ass get 3 hours of sleep because literally I had to watch the game late as fuck because it's just I had too much going on. So literally I just finished the Baltimore Ravens and the Eagles game yesterday on Monday night. Like I had to stay up to 12:30 and I woke up at like fucking 4:30. Matter of fact, hell nah. If I'm not mistaken, I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning and to wake up at like 4:30. So that shit was crazy. Now, just get into the topic at hand. So Trevor Lawrence tried to slide. By the way, real quickly, though, this is a little tidbit there. College football, I didn't watch the games. But college football was fucking crazy last Saturday. I'm talking about, I think it was at least 3 games where, it was some extracurricular activity after the game and motherfuckers was scrapping. That shit was insane. I ain't gonna hold you like that. When I seen that, bro, I'm like, bro, that shit was funny as hell. But nah, on some serious shit though, no. I wasn't playing around regardless. Jesus Christ, like, God, like, this gotta be my worst video or my worst intro, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This gotta be my worst performance in front of a camera in a long ass time, bro. Like, normally I'm sharp with my shit. I'm not sharp at all today. I'm just, bro, I'm all over the place. I can't even fucking talk. I'm talking like this my fucking first, like, I've only been doing YouTube for like 3 months and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, at the end of the day, I gotta blame these coaches, man, because Saban not allowing shit like this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's certain coaches that these players, when they're coached and they're being led in a certain environment, they're not gonna think about doing shit like this. It's these new niggas that's coming around. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'll give you an example. Because I forgot who North Carolina was facing. They ended up getting to a fight over the plate and flag shit. And Michigan, when they beat Ohio State, they planted a flag in the middle of the field, which I think is just, it's no reason to do that. And Ohio State, trying to defend their honor, whatever, I guess. They ended up scrapping with the other team. But, like, what happened in the sportsmanship and just shaking hands? You ever got these kids nowadays, and I spoke about it, I think, a few videos ago when I was criticizing Trayvon Diggs. It was that video. It was the video where I was talking about Anthony Richardson and Trayvon Diggs. So I spoke about it. These kids nowadays, instead of, everybody shaking hands and then, like, putting it all out there on the field, these kids got belts and is literally hitting the asses, of the goddamn, of the opposing team. Like, that shit was not happening back then. And back then, you know what I'm saying, like, the coaches were like a father figure that most of the people ever had. Like, they was, the same way Deion Sanders is doing with those young men in Colorado. That was the football coach. Like, in case you didn't have a father in the home, that would be the guy that not just teach you football, but teach you how to conduct yourself as a man and as a professional. Nowadays, these coaches are just like, they're not doing their fucking job. They just there and just collecting a paycheck. I'm just keeping it real because it's crazy how, you know what I'm saying, if the right environment was fostered and everybody was expected to be professional and there was in these young men and these kids' heads that there was going to be consequences for acting out after a game or not showing sportsmanship or not conduct yourself as a professional. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's okay to have fun, but I don't think fun is just like trying to do things to antagonize a fight. Like, taking a belt and hitting the asses of the opposing players is just weird to me. It's a little funny, I ain't gonna lie, but it is low-key weird. And then knowing you planting a flag in the middle of the field, knowing what's going to transpire out of that, it's just out of control behavior. Like, listen, y'all won. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I mean, if you're a real competitor and you really care about what you do, you're gonna be hot after a loss. You're really not gonna be happy at all. Like, you're already pissed off by the fact that your team lost, right? So you pissed off that you lost already as a team. And then to have the other team kind of rub it in your face and try to antagonize you after the fact, like, I expected Ohio State to do what they did and emotions to boil over and the fights that transpired after that, right? I think it was some shit that was like a similar situation and whoever the hell North Carolina was playing. You know what I'm saying? So going back to the situation, right? So I'm going to have to keep going. I should have wrote this nigga name down before I got started. But Aziz Al-Shaair. So I'm just going to call him Al-Shaair because it's just too much, okay? So Trevor Lawrence slid. He was scrambling. He scrambled for a first down. He slid, and while he slid, I think it was helmet-to-helmet contact or it was like some type of late hit, and that basically knocked Trevor Lawrence out of the football game. Okay? What do I think about the hit, right? So obviously that's not something you want to do. You want to try to like I'm all for physicality. I'm all for, being aggressive and being intimidating and violent, but I think that when it comes to, there's always a chill button you gotta have to have, right? So like you know that when the quarterback is in the midst of sliding, you know that they waiting for your ass. Like they're waiting for any little thing. Like, bro, you can hit simultaneously. The quarterback could be throwing the football and you can hit him, and you'll end up getting flagged for that. Like, they so like nitpicky with the roughing the passer calls. They so nitpicky when it comes to hitting making contact with the quarterback. Even when technically the quarterback becomes a runner, which in this situation Trevor Lawrence became a runner. They're very nitpicky about that. Like, you could lay a big hit and they'll automatically say some shit like, oh, helmet to helmet contact, and sometimes it could be like a unnecessary roughness or all this dumb shit, right? So I'm all for physicality. I'm all for some big hits. At the end of the day, if a quarterback decides that he want to scramble and he think he can do whatever the hell he want to do, like, as a defense, you got to send a message. I agree with that, but I do have to, at the same time, it's like, you gotta chill out. You gotta have to know when to scale it back, especially nowadays, because the fines are getting ridiculous. The league is trying to find every which way, whether you did something or didn't do anything, to fine your ass, and you just gave them a reason to do so. And on top of that, you just know the climate that you're in. So you got to play with aggression, but you also have to understand that the refs are waiting for your ass to make contact with the quarterback the wrong way. So you got to be smart about the situation, because you don't want to incur a fine that's going to come out of your pocket, and you don't want to cost your team yards that can result in the other team scoring points on the offensive end. So obviously, prayers up for Trevor Lawrence to make a full recovery. Here's what I will say about the hit. I didn't like the hit. I just think that you have to, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Because when you're taught to be aggressive and to play fast, and your momentum and your adrenaline is going, sometimes it's like it's hard to control yourself. But I don't know. I just, something about that hit just didn't sit right with me. But I do understand. Here's the thing. I don't like the hit. And I 100% agree with the Jacksonville Jaguars team defending their quarterback. I 100% agree with that. And obviously for that dude, for Al-Shaair, right, he had to defend himself. So even though he was in the wrong at that moment, he can't just let people just beat the shit out of him, right? And his teammates can't let their teammate get the shit beat out of them either. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, it's a weird predicament all around. But Jacksonville did the right thing defending their quarterback. I definitely would have did the same thing if I was in Jacksonville. So, addressing the situation. I like the fact that he took accountability, right? That's first and foremost, because he was definitely wrong he's definitely wrong for that late hit. Like at the end of the day, aggression is cool. Being physical is cool. I think when you go as far as he did, I just, something about the hit I don't like it. And again, it's not the easiest thing to do, because it's kind of counterproductive to what you were trained to do, which is to be aggressive, be fast, be physical, and really go out there to hurt somebody. That's kind of the mentality of the defense, like to really to inflict punishment on the offense, so to speak. So kind of going back on everything that you've been trained to do. It's not the easiest situation. It's not the easiest thing to do in a situation. But I do appreciate the apology. Because I ain't going to lie, I was going to go off on his ass. But the fact that he did apologize made me feel a lot better about the situation. It's just kind of like one of those things where it's like... And here's the thing, too. I also agree with what Rex Ryan said. So Rex Ryan said they need to start teaching the quarterback that the only way it makes sense to slide is at the open field. So he was on Get Up, and he was very, very, if vociferous, it makes sense, but no. He was very vocal and very charged in how he was criticizing these coaches for teaching these quarterbacks the wrong way on how to protect themselves, right? So it only generally makes sense to slide in the open field when there's nobody around, right? But to slide when a defender's coming head on to you is actually not the wisest thing to do. It's actually pretty stupid. And again, I'm not calling Trevor Lawrence stupid, because I do agree that a lot of these quarterbacks are taught this, right? It's one of those things like if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. So they asked Rex Ryan, they was like, okay, so what would you do in a situation? So he would say like, yo, Trevor should dive at the defender's ankles, right? Because the first thing that the defender's going to be thinking about is not about making a hit, it's about protecting himself. So that's actually was a smart strategy. So I agree with Rex Ryan on that too, that, sliding with a defender coming head on towards you, full speed, is definitely not the wisest thing to do. It's probably the most obvious. It's one of the easiest ways to try to get yourself hurt, if you ask me. Right? So I 100% agree with what Rex Ryan said. So as I was reading this article today, right before I turned on this goddamn camera, I read bits and pieces of, I didn't see the press conference, but I happened to pull up one of the articles. I think it was an article from the New York Times.
Dumbass.
And matter of fact, I'm just going to read you the quote so y'all don't think I'm just making shit up here. Texas head coach D'Amico Ryans appeared to blame Lawrence for the late hit that rendered him unconscious in a defensive position, indicated severe brain trauma. We stand behind Aziz and everything that came from that, Ryans told reporters on Monday. Of course, the unfortunate hit on the quarterback, but it's also twofold. A lot of the quarterbacks in this day and age, they try to take advantage of the rule where they slide late to get an extra yard. Unfortunate that Trevor got hurt. We hope Trevor's okay, but it's also, for sliding, we got to get down. If we're getting out of bounds, we get out of bounds. The rule is there to protect the quarterbacks, and we want our quarterbacks to be safe in the league. And let me see if there's anything else to read after that. Okay. The entire thing is Aziz hits the guy, but their sideline overreacts and turns into a melee, Ryan said. It wasn't our guys. Their team overreacted. Pushed our guy, dragged our guy to the side. So that's uncalled for on that side. We have to be better on the sideline. Ryan told the reporters that Al-Shaair is a great human being and model for the game, while adding the Jaguars overreacted over the hit. Okay. D'Amico Ryan, I thought you were a hell of a coordinator. I don't like the 49ers. What did the depressed Cowboy fans say? Fuck the 49ers. Bow, 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 bow. They some booty cheeks. Fuck the 49ers. But you are a great coordinator over there. And it's not fuck everybody. There's some people that I low-key fuck with. But as a organization and how they talking shit about the Eagles, like kind of like fuck the 49ers. As far as I'm concerned, they're a rivalry to me. Right, but there's some guys on the 49ers that I like, but, like, I in all honesty, like, as an organization, fuck the 49ers. Now, going back to the statement, he was a hell of a coordinator in San Francisco. He was outstanding, okay? And I respect what he has done and how he has coached those guys over in Houston because they're Super Bowl contenders. I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl this year because I think their offensive line needs more help. And I think that C.J. Stroud, while I think he's a top 5 quarterback in my opinion, but he's kind of backslid a little bit, and I think it's because of the fact that he has to understand the type of offensive line that he's dealing with. So he has to. It's kind of like how what Deshaun Watson had to deal with when he was on the Texas, right? He had to learn how to get the ball out faster, and the coordinator's got to do a better job of making sure that he gets the ball out. Fuck. The coordinator's got to make sure he does a better job of getting the ball out in a timely fashion. Motherfucker, I can't talk. Shit. All right. Anyway, moving on. But yes, D'Amico Ryan, that shit sounded. I get it, he's a defensive guy. Oh, he's a former Eagle, right? I know that. D'Amico Ryan, that shit sounded stupid as fuck. That sounded stupid as fuck. I ain't gonna lie to you. That sounded dumb as shit. That really sounded dumb as shit, bro. Number one, when it was a late hit, regardless. Should Trevor Lawrence have slid in that scenario? Probably not. Would it be safe to assume that Trevor Lawrence knew or was coached to say, hey, in that scenario where a defender is coming at you full speed, head on head, like in a head-on collision, it's probably not wise for you to slide, but to, find alternative ways to protect yourself. I don't think he knew another way. To be quite honest with you. So I don't understand how you could say just outright it was Trevor Lawrence's fault, because a lot of quarterbacks were taught this way. In fact, what Rex Ryan said was the first time I ever heard of an alternative solution to, because some quarterbacks do dive, but when you dive, you risk fumbling the football. Some quarterbacks just run out of bounds. He makes some good points here, right? Yes, the quarterbacks try to take advantage of the rule where they try to get an extra yard by pretending to slide, right? Or like appearing like they're about to go into motion of sliding, but they're really just trying to get an extra yard or two. I get that. But that wasn't a situation. Trevor Lawrence was full out sliding. He got past, he already was way past, the defense already allowed him past the first down marker. So the damage is already done there. They already got the first down. So him saying that shit just doesn't make any fucking sense because he's past the first down marker when he starts to slide. So the damage is already done. So at this point in time, the only thing your defense needs to do at that point is just stop him from scoring. That's about it. But the damage is already done because he got the first down and he was literally sliding right then and there. So to kind of back your player up when he's wrong, it's just weird as shit to me. It doesn't even it makes you seem like a low-key a fucked up human being. Like, cause I don't understand how everybody in the world saw the hit. I'm sure there were football players, former, current, that saw the hit and it was like, damn, that shit low-key was dirty. In fact, and also tell the Jacksonville Jaguar team that they overreacted trying to defend their quarterback for a late hit. Like, are you fucking serious right now? Are you serious? If somebody does a late hit on my quarterback and I'm out there on that fucking field, or somebody does some dirty shit, you damn right I'm going to go over there to defend my quarterback. So if I got to go whoop a person's ass or let that person know that, hey, our quarterback is off limits, you can't do like, listen, the game is the game, right? If you make a clean hit, you make a clean hit. When you're doing dirty shit or you're doing extra shit, extracurricular shit, to try to hurt our quarterback, yes, the team has every right to go out there and to go out there and defend their quarterback. Every fucking right to do that. The Jacksonville Jaguars did the right thing. So to tell me they overreacted when the hit was clearly like, you just made a bad situation much more worse than it actually needed to be. The man apologized, and I'm happy they did apologize because I damn sure was going to go off on his ass for sure. 100%. I was going to say things like, yo, I'm glad we didn't pick this nigga up in free agency and this, that, and the third. I was going to go off. So believe me when I tell you, he did the right thing and apologized because he was not right for what he did whatsoever. At all. So for you condoning that behavior, I now have to question the type of culture that you're building over there because I thought you guys were, y'all building a winning culture where guys are buying in. I understand that you're a defensive guy. I understand that, part of being in defense is being fast, aggressive, and physical and hard-nosed. I get that. But there is nothing. You look at that hit. You can look at that shit 30 times over, and I'm telling you this to your face, there is nothing to defend Al Shazier, whatever that nigga name is, Al Shair about. There's nothing, there's no coming to his defense. And mind you, I'm a guy that like big hits. I'm a guy that hate all these ticky-tack ass rules. But he's in the wrong. So for you to defend it, and for you to say that Jacksonville's overreacting, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And as somebody that you played the game before, like, that shit's just weird. And in all honesty, to tell you the truth, if Jacksonville did nothing in a situation, I would have to question what the fuck is going on over there. They did the right thing. That's exactly what you're supposed to. When your quarterback is a victim of some dirty ass tactics, you have to go out there and defend your guy, defend the leader of your football team, defend your teammate. That's what you're supposed to do. Your teammate is your brother. Your teammate is like a member of your family. If a member of my family, if somebody did some bullshit to a member of my family, you damn right I'm crashing the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. So for him to say that shit makes no sense. I really don't. And it's coming from somebody who played the game before. That shit's just weird. How the fuck can you literally sit up here and defend his actions? His actions it's inexcusable. Physicality, I'm all for it. That was bullshit. He made the first down, so that means the damage is already done. The next step is to make sure he doesn't score. And he wasn't because he slid. Everybody saw that he was sliding. He wasn't trying to pick up an extra yard. He wasn't doing the fucking Kenny Pickett what he did in Pittsburgh. He literally actually was sliding, and Shair did a dirty hit. Now, granted, listen, the apology ain't for me to accept. It's on Trevor Lawrence. Okay? But I thought the apology was pretty genuine. And I do understand, like I said, when the adrenaline's going and you're being taught to perform a certain way, it is hard in real action to try to control yourself in that moment. And you're all going to make mistakes. You're all going to do late hits because of that. Because everything that you have to do, and especially with these ticky-tack ass rules, is counterproductive to what you're being taught to do in the field. You understand what I'm saying? But to defend him is just actually fucking despicable. It's disgusting. Like there's no defending that at all. Like I'm trying to think of an example of what I could say. Like that's like a motherfucker coming to a. That's like goddamn. I'm think of a good example, right? That's like a police chief, right? So they arrested some robbers trying to rob a bank. And then the police say, oh, well, the bank is at fault because they should have made sure that the vault was locked. They kept it open. While that's generally true, it doesn't negate the fact that they robbed a fucking bank. The fuck? What are you talking about? That's like somebody sitting up there and be like, yeah, somebody gets shot because they stepped on somebody's shoe. And then somebody in the killer's defense be like, yeah, you should have never stepped on this goddamn shoe. The fuck are you talking about? Those two it doesn't even equate. Like none of that shit makes sense. I'm off of it, but that was some bullshit coming from D'Amico Ryan. Like I genuinely don't understand how the fuck you defend that, or how you did like that behavior was despicable. And another thing too, fans have pointed out, and there's been some reports that pointed out that this wasn't Al Shair's first incident. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't his first incident of doing dirty stuff or extracurricular activity during the play and after the play as well. I don't know how to take that into account because the only thing I can speak on is what I saw in real time. That's it. That's all. That's literally all I can speak on. Right. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna get into this game. Right. So I would like to get into this game. So first and foremost, let's start talking about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, I did not like the way he played in the first quarter. I thought he played awful. So to give you a rundown of his stats real quick, okay. Let me get rid of this tab here. He was 11 for 19, 118 yards, 1 touchdown through the air, 9 rushes, 29 yards, 3.2 yards a carry, and 1 touchdown on the ground. Now, I hated the way he played in the first quarter. He played atrocious. He stared down the field all fucking day. He was very quick to abandon a pocket, like he didn't want to trust his pocket. And here's the thing about what Jalen Hurts, and this shit really kills me. This is what he got to stop doing, my nigga. If there's nobody open down the field after a certain time, there got to be a clock in your head that says, okay, let me go check down, see my check down options. Because if I'm not mistaken, I seen Covey available for check downs, and I seen Saquon available for check downs. Excuse me. In that first quarter. So the first quarter, he was absolutely just god awful. Like he was atrocious. I think he missed a couple throws to AJ Brown. But he was atrocious. I was about to be like Jalen Hurts, do not, because I just got finished apologizing to this guy and letting him know that, hey, listen, you the guy for the franchise. You know what I'm saying? You're that guy. But he went back to doing the same bullshit I seen reminiscing like the first the first few games of the season. I'm like, don't start this shit. We ain't got time for this. Don't fucking fall apart now. Like, listen, if the defense is playing good, that's one thing. If there's nobody open, that's one thing. But you sitting up here doing unforced errors, like you keep staring down the fucking field when nobody's open, and you're literally way too quick to abandon a pocket. You need to be stepping up and climbing the pocket, but he was too quick to abandon it. So the numbers don't look stellar. 118 yards, doesn't look stellar. But I do feel like that, and this is another thing I really liked about Jalen Hurts too, by the way. I really liked how there was an RPO, okay? And on the RPO, Jalen Hurts made a mistake. Instead of keeping it and running it based on what the defender was doing, he decided to hand it off to Saquon. And what I loved about him is that he learned from his mistake, and the next time that this same situation took place, and he saw the defender doing the same thing, he kept it and ran for it and was successful. So I really, really liked how, first off, shout out to Kellen Moore for the play calling, because one thing I'm very, very impressed by him is that finally, y'all remember, I think it was the Dallas video or the Washington video, I said that when the Eagles are in single back, they literally do one of 3 or 4 things, right? It's either a straight up handoff to Saquon Barkley, it's either a toss to Saquon Barkley, or it's either a a play action pass to Goddard going out the flats to the right side, right? It's either an RPO or it's not an RPO. I'm stupid. RPO is only, you're going to do RPO out of shotgun, not out of fucking, you could do it out of single back, but that's not how generally the Eagles be doing it. So it's either it's a play action pass to Goddard, it's a toss to Saquon, or it's a halfback dive, a straight inside run for Saquon Barkley. So finally, Kellen Moore opened up the playbook, and there was play action passes where A.J. Brown was the option, I think, on some slant passes. There was other guys at the same time going for routes. And one thing I loved about Kellen Moore's play calling is that he did a fantastic job of actually going behind center a lot more. Out of all the games I've seen under the Sirianni regimen, this is the only game that I've seen where they went under single back an appropriate amount of times. I couldn't believe my fucking eyes. I'm like, wait, hold on. This is not the Eagles under the Sirianni regime that I've been seeing. This is a completely different goddamn team. This is crazy. So Jalen Hurts picked up his play. He made some really, really good, accurate throws between the numbers. And I don't know where the fuck y'all get this, his intermediate game, he's in act. I don't get that from Jalen Hurts. Here's the problem, I think, with Jalen. I think Jalen Hurts needs to be more consistent throwing on a run. I see that he's getting better. I've seen some games where he's actually done well. I think he needs to be more consistent in that department. I think that Jalen Hurts needs to understand that when it stops staring at receivers all the time, and then understand that when there's nothing open down the field, don't abandon the pocket too early. Don't just look to run. Look to check the fucking ball down. Keep the game simple. So those are the problems I feel like that Jalen Hurts has. Not necessarily his ability to be accurate. He can be accurate with the football. And, like I said, he got definitely one of the best deep balls in the league, definitely top 5 if you ask me. And I said this in the Rams video that y'all can go and see. You know what I'm saying? So Jalen Hurts played he was awful that first quarter. The second, third, and fourth quarter was great. And there's one thing that I do agree with Romo about, and is that a lot of the issues that happened in the first quarter was Kellen Moore and Sirianni, they were trying to get too cute with the playbook. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to try to just be too fancy. Just simplify the game, because a lot of the issues that was taking place with the offensive struggles were really just self-inflicted wounds. I don't really think it had anything to do with us not running the football with contrary to what most people would think. I don't think a lot of it has to do with not running the football with Saquon. I think some of it had to do with Jalen Hurts just staring at receivers too goddamn long instead of checking the ball down. So he's making it hard for himself. He's abandoned the pocket too early, and he did a much better job second quarter and up of staying in the pocket, climbing the pocket, instead of just being quick to abandon it when nothing's open. So, but I really wasn't too happy with the play call. I'm being honest with you. I really didn't like it too much. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for Jalen Hurts. I gotta give Jalen Hurts, I'm gonna give him a B to a B plus. I'm gonna give him say out of 100, I'll give him an 87. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was good overall. I thought he made some terrific throws. Saquon Barkley, 23 carries, 107 yards. Yeah, and he had 3 receptions for 35 yards, and he had a touchdown reception too. So I gotta admit, man, I gotta give credit to Baltimore's defense, because they did a fantastic job of really just containing Saquon Barkley. Out of all the teams, I'm not going to say they shut him down, but they definitely neutralized him. A lot of his yards came in the fourth quarter, and it wasn't a crazy amount. So they did a really good job for the most part of containing Saquon. Like, Saquon still had a good game, but he didn't have I'm not expecting him to run for goddamn 200 plus yards. That typically doesn't happen in the NFL. If it does, it's a problem. But they did a really good job of really limiting Saquon and kind of just keeping it neutral to the point where, like, if he got the big run, they were like maybe 8, 9, 10 yards, 11. It wasn't nothing like it was 15, 20, 25, things like that. It was one big run for the touchdown, which I believe happened in the fourth quarter, though, right? A.J. Brown was outstanding as well. Let me double check his numbers on that. Oh, yeah, by the way, quick thing, too, I almost forgot. So we signed Charles Harris. Who's he used to play for Detroit. He was recently on the Panthers practice squad, so we acquired him. He didn't get much playing time. And then it was some other guy for the Commanders practice squad that we picked up. I don't remember his name. And because of Devontae Smith situation, we re-signed Paris Campbell, who didn't get the ball at all last night, which I don't think it was. I'm not too upset about that. I would like to see him get more involved if Devontae Smith continues to be out, but I'm not going to trip over the fact that he didn't get too many targets, right? So let's go through the list as well. So A.J. Brown had a great game. 5 receptions for 66 yards. 66 yards, can't fucking talk. Dallas Goedert had a pretty good game. I was really impressed with his ability after the catch as well. 3 receptions for 35 yards and a touchdown. I cannot fucking talk. All right. So Jahan Dotson, he caught a pass or two. He was decent. Penalties were a little bit of an issue, especially in the first quarter, but we got that cleaned up. It's nothing really much to talk about the offense. I felt like that, outside of Jalen Hurts' performance in the first quarter, the offense played, I would say for the most part, a clean operation. I think once Jalen Hurts cleaned up his play, once the play calling got better, once the RPO started to work and really be effective, and the play calling started opening up, and Kellen Moore's genius, just was seeping into everybody, like that's when the offense really got going, right? So let's talk about the defense, okay? So Josh Sweat, I thought it was a bullshit PI call. I'm trying to remember who they said it was on. Oh yeah, by the way, they had a missed PI call on Goddard too, which I thought was complete bullshit as well. So that was fucked up. Oh yeah, so Avonte Maddox, I don't know why the fuck he's in and not Sidney Brown. I think that in order for Sidney Brown to get reacclimated to the offense, you have to allow him to be in the lineup. So if you're not allowing him any playing time and he's only playing special teams, I don't get how you're going to be able to catch him up to speed. So one thing I really don't like that Avonte Maddox got in over Sidney Brown. Like I honestly I really like Avonte Maddox got like this lucky ass where he kind of like He did one good play on Zay Flowers where he poked the ball out last minute. So I think it was against Nelson Aguilar. So he poked the ball out last minute on what would have been a catch. So I guess I give him credit for that. But honestly, I really don't like Avonte Maddox at all. Like he needs to retire or maybe he needs to play for another team. I don't know. But like his future here, the clock's ticking. That's all I got to say about that. So Josh Sweat played really, really good. I'm very impressed with the way he played. I think he did get an official sack as well. Jalen Carter played fucking lights out. Here's another thing real quick I want to say. So Charles Gardner-Johnson, I fuck with you, and Lamar Jackson. Like, I don't get how, like, if you don't like Lamar Jackson to me, your ass just a hate. I'm just keeping it real. Like, you have your preference of quarterbacks, I get it. But if you actually hate Lamar Jackson as a person, you're a fucking weirdo. Because I'm telling you right now, like, not only do I like him as a person, like, from afar off, from a third person perspective, he seemed like a pretty good guy. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, man, like, he's a competitor. One thing I will say about Lamar, all bias aside, this is what him and Caleb Williams got in common. This is what both of them need to stop doing. Stop wearing your emotions on your face. Don't look visibly frustrated. Of course, you're going to be frustrated when things don't go your way. Of course, you're going to be frustrated when it comes to missed throws and things of that nature, or the offense not going the way you want it to. But you got to hide that shit. And that's what they like about Jalen Hurts is that he'll have some looks of frustration, but it's not outwardly to the point where, like, yeah, I got your ass. Like, because if I'm a defender and I'm looking at Caleb Williams and I'm looking at Lamar Jackson when they struggle, I could tell when I got their ass because they're outwardly emotional. So one thing Lamar got to develop over time, and again, I like it to an extent because it shows that he really cares, and it shows his level of competitiveness. But you gotta have to like be a little bit less outwardly you can't be too expressive in that emotion, if that makes sense, right? So with Lamar Jackson, okay, so Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I fuck with you. You've been playing much better, and I my guy. Once that motherfucking game is underway, I don't want to shit. And I love Lamar. I think Lamar has done way more than a lot of these quarterbacks that they be praising. He's done way more with less. Okay? When everybody doubted him, saying he couldn't play quarterback, he worked his ass off to become an elite quarterback, and he's an MVP candidate this season. If it's not Saquon winning MVP, it damn sure better be Lamar Jackson this year, because he's playing outstanding. But Chauncey, once that motherfucking game get underway, I don't want to see you going over there go shake his hand like he your goddamn long lost brother. I mean, when I saw that shit, I'm like, Chauncey, I know you not about to pull the motherfucking Slay, bro. I know you're not about to pull Darius Slay, my nigga. Like, yo, it was 13-10 on that motherfucking clock. That means the game is on. That means we are enemies until before the game. Cool. After the game, no problem. If it's a situation where maybe you hit him too hard, you felt guilty, you can lift him up, you know what I'm saying? Like a little pat on the helmet and shit. But the little full-out handshake and hug, like y'all niggas wearing the same shirt. Like, listen, we're both birds technically, but one's a raven, one's an eagle. One wearing purple and black, the other wearing green, black, and white type shit. You know what I'm saying? So the guy you're supposed to be shaking hands and hugging is the niggas with green, black, and white. Pause. But y'all understand where I'm coming from with this. Chauncey, when I saw that shit, I raised eyebrows. But the good thing is that Chauncey made up for it. He did a great hit on Derrick Henry. He played pretty good overall. I really, really love that moment of leadership that he took when the defense was not playing the way they're supposed to. Chauncey took it upon himself. And this is what I feel like was missing last year. A guy that was, that one guy that gets up and got on everybody's ass. And I think the energy that Chauncey brings to this football team is what was missing. And I'm so happy that we have him back, because not only is he, like the man coverage thing, I still think he needs to fix that shit, because it wasn't a problem a couple years ago. But he tidies that up, and he's physical. He played with energy. And one thing I love about guys like him and guys like Russell Westbrook, when they on that field or they in their profession, when it comes to sports, they're going to give 110% effort, and they're going to require everybody around them to put in 110% effort, or you just can't play with it. So that's one thing I really fuck about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So overall, he played pretty good, but when he was up there shaking Lamar's hand like that with the little hug and everything, I'm like, bro, that's a little too much. See, I respect what happened with Jalen Carter. But Jalen Carter played fucking lights out. Tackles for loss, sacks. I have to admit, this is probably Jalen Carter's best game from a statistical standpoint, if you ask me. But yeah, I respect that Jalen Carter and Lamar Jackson, they would show each other respect, but Jalen Carter let Lamar Jackson know, like, hey, listen, I'm here to whoop your ass. See, that's what I like. It's respect, but it's like, you let that nigga know, like, listen, I'm here to beat your motherfucking ass. I'm not here to be your goddamn friend. So I fuck with that level of competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Davis actually played pretty good against the run. So he was productive. Milton Williams was productive in some ways. I think Ojomo might have had a couple pressures. Don't quote me on that. Jalen Hunt stepped up to the occasion. Definitely his best game, and everybody just way too quick. I'm like, yo, he's a third-round pick. He's either a third-round pick or a fifth-round pick. He's not getting that much playing time. Why are y'all so in a hurry to say, oh, he's not good? I'm like, bro, like, you understand how long it took for Nolan Smith to get to where, by the way, Nolan Smith played fucking incredible. All game long, whenever he was in there, if he wasn't making a play, which he did make plays, he was actually influencing plays. Like, he was actually, like, if he wasn't actually making the plays directly, my fault for knocking over the mic. He wasn't making the plays directly. He was always around the ball, and that's one thing I fuck with about Nolan Smith. So Nolan Smith had a terrific game, in my opinion. Jalen Hunt, he stepped to the occasion, had a big hit on special teams, very active. He might or might not have had a sack. I don't know if he did or didn't. He had half a sack. But yeah, Jalen Hunt had a terrific game, both in special teams and on that defense. So, you know what I'm saying? One thing I didn't like, though, I think Nakobe Dean got injured. Thank God, I hope to God that nothing happens to Nakobe Dean. Okay, I really do. But what I don't understand is they put this other guy name in. I don't remember his. Let's see if I can find it. Put Oren Burks in, and I don't like that. You got to give Jeremiah Trotter an opportunity. Like, I was really disappointed that Vic Fangio didn't put him in the game. I don't know why you didn't put Jeremiah Trotter in. Like, to me that you know, that it doesn't make any sense. Like, you put a guy that you believe in, that got potential, you gotta throw him to the fire. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, Zach Bond played out of his mind. Had a sack, tackle for loss, very active. You know what I'm saying? Reed Blankenship ended up having a concussion, so it's a good chance. So obviously prayers for his full recovery. It's a good chance because of the protocol. We're not going to see him back until the following week. Yeah, so that pretty much what was that. Quayon Mitchell was outstanding. Cooper DeJean was outstanding. Talk about, like, bro, Cooper DeJean is a fucking cheat code. Imagine being able to cover, be fast, and not on top of that, you can fucking hit. Like, this nigga hit Derrick Henry like fucking flat out. And mind you, I don't think Derrick Henry's like about 40, 50 pounds over this nigga, which is crazy. Like, he laid him on his ass. Pause. But y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, Cooper DeJean was outstanding. Quayon was outstanding. I'm talking about, like, you know, Guantanamo Bay locking up motherfuckers Zay Flowers, bro. He did his thing. Like, Quayon, the real fucking deal. It's gonna be one of those situations where it's like when he gets those opportunities to catch those interceptions, he gotta catch them. You know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty much it, man. I think for the most part we did a pretty good job against Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry got off a couple runs, but really the pass was whooping our ass and Mark Andrews, and especially in the first half versus the run per se. So we did a good job on our end covering the run game. You know what I'm saying? Any other thing I want to talk about real quick? Oh, yeah. By the way, I think it was our final drive of the game. They did some bullshit where we actually converted a tush push on third down. It was like, oh, yeah, we didn't do that. I thought that was complete bull. By the way, Tristan McCullum came in for Blankenship. He actually played pretty damn good. I'm surprised they didn't put Sidney Brown in, but I guess, you know, McCullum is more acclimated with the defense, and he actually played pretty good, if you ask me. I thought Carter forced a fumble on one of the Lamar ones, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm not too upset by them not calling it. I think that's pretty much it, man. Oh, yeah, Saquon fumbled, but, like, he got it back, so it doesn't really talk about that. All right, so we're officially done with this video, y'all, okay? So the next time I'm going to see y'all, I'm not making no extra videos because right now I'm burnt the fuck out, so I have to get used to working at a regular rate first and then going, you know, then doing the hard work and all the extra shit. So the next time I'll see y'all, it will be the Eagles and the Panthers. I'm going to try my best to actually get the video out on time.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Button video is out. The Rams video, if I want to see that, that's also out as well. Sorry about the, you know, me not talking and all this other shit, but it is what it is, all right? So I'm out of here. Peace. Enjoy the rest of y'all week. Fly, Eagles, fly, bitches. Bye.